There are four branches to the USA democratic system. The citizen being the first and most central, the White House, the House of Congress, and the Supreme Court. The voter or the citizen funds other branches and should therefore have a lot of say about how those who occupy these offices are elected and also how they behave when they get into office. So the citizen should be the most important entity here, or so I thought until I found this video.
A Supreme Court ruling that may change politics in this country more dramatically than anything else this court has done in generations.
This is a Supreme Court-sanctioned murder of what little actual democracy is left in this democracy.
Like Pearl Harbor, this decision, Citizens United, is a case that will live in infamy.
Last week, the Supreme Court reversed a century of law that I believe will open the floodgates for special interests, including foreign corporations, to spend without limit in our elections.
How could Citizens United happen?
Citizens United came to the Supreme Court as a very small case. And basically there was a group called Citizens United, and they wanted to make a video-on-demand movie that was very critical of then presidential candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton.
But something perverse happened. It went way beyond Citizens United. Chief Justice John Roberts took a bizarre interest in this case. And after the initial arguments said, you know what, we want you to argue this case differently. Instead of talking about this one film and this specific incident, we want you to talk about regulation of corporate money and union money and private expenditures in our politics.
The Supreme Court wrongly decided that corporations were covered under the free speech amendments of the Constitution.
They said money in political campaigns, and they've said this forever, is the equivalent of speech. When I give you money to run for election, it's the same as me speaking.
Corporations were actually people whose First Amendment rights to freedom of speech was being infringed upon when they were told they could only put X number of dollars into a campaign.
What speech are we really quieting when every individual member of a corporation can speak for themselves?
People are people and corporations are not. And corporations shouldn't be given the same rights to be able to buy up and drown out regular citizens' voices in the arena of political speech.
You can put as much money as you want into a race, and so can Walmart. So it's your free speech / money against their free speech / money. Who do you think has more free speech / money, you or Walmart?
So there are companies, big and small, speaking through the candidates. Oh my God. And how do we know which candidate is speaking for some company? Just follow the money. Find out who is not publicly funded. Find out who is not self-funding. And you have found a candidate who is speaking for at least one company, maybe two, maybe three. Big banks, small banks, pharmaceutical companies. Even foreign companies. Did you know that foreign companies can actually give money to someone so as to get a certain amount of influence in our elections? That's crazy, isn't it? Now the question is, if you elect that person, how are they going to be able to regulate and reward companies when they are now in office? Because that's the function of government. Government is supposed to be a referee. Government is like an umpire. They're supposed to regulate behavior. If they don't talk about their donors in public, they don't talk about their funders in public, then you know, dirty money. It is dirty money. Cruz, Rubio, and Hillary. Oh, and there's something else. They are all either ex-senators or senators. Aha! Now you begin to see the pattern, huh? Senate and Congress, the most corrupt candidates come from that office. So your voting options have become much simpler. You know that Hillary Clinton is an ex-senator, so she still has those connections to Wall Street. You know that Cruz is a senator. You know that Rubio is a senator. You know that Kasich is a governor. So your choice is really between two candidates. It's Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. How easy is that? All right, you're welcome.